Hello everyone, welcome to Rise of Patience. We are back with a standard 1 versus 1 between two great standard players. We have Kage on blue and Redbul on the red side. Kage has got Koreans and Redbul has got Iroquois. If you ask me to choose a favorite, I would go with Iroquois. Iroquois are really good at aggression. It's it's quite normal to see an ancient age raid. So players typically go with a barracks to begin with. That barracks would give you an extra scout, and that also results in a better ruin bonus for the civilization. And not to say that Koreans are bad. It's just that uh, Koreans are is mostly a defensive civilization, and I'm not a fan of defensive civilizations. But again, with proper raids, any civilization can be rendered defenseless. But Koreans are a little difficult to weaken because they get free militia upgrade and their towers are really cheap. And also, their villagers can repair and build buildings while they are being attacked without getting any damage. Now, this happens often in Sahara maps. The center wood is a lot closer to Kage than it is towards Redbul, and that is unfair. There is no doubt about it. On the other side, Kage has also got this +6 wood patch, while Redbul has also got this +6 wood patch, but other than that, he is left with his 3 and 6, so that's not really good for him as long as wood is concerned. So he'll have to get at least part of this wood to not be to not be stifled by wood income later on. On the other hand, Kage actually has a lot better wood income. Like he's got this +6, he's got a +5 here, and he's also got the center. So there's no way Kage is at any disadvantage. Kage knows about the barracks. He is going military. And looks like Kage has got a lot of ruin bonus. Oh, and yeah, that villager still steals it right away from him. Let's look at that. So Kage has got a lot better ruin bonus, even though Redbul has got 2 scouts. And not getting the corner ruin rare, yeah, that is kind of a mistake. Looking at the rare resources on both sides, Redbul has got relics and horses. Now, relics is of course a great rare to start your boom. Relics make sure that even if you do not build a university in the beginning, you can rest assured you're not losing anything much. And since it's so for any other player, I would say not discovering horses is going to be a big problem. But Redbul is quite yeah, he's quite familiar with this map. Most of the standard players are familiar with Great Sahara, so it's obvious that there is a rare resource somewhere here, and Red Bull is going to find that very soon. Well, although it is important that he finds it sooner than later, because horses is something that can give you a lot of advantage in the beginning of the game when you are going for an early raid, especially with a civilization like Iroquois. And it looks like Kage has got a much better head start than Red Bull. And one of the biggest reasons for that is that Red Bull made those arch. He made the barracks. He even has the archers, but he did not raid Kage as much. So without the raiding, that barracks was just a delay in city building time, and he did not force Kage back. He's not make him use any defensive thing. Now, since Kage is already in the classical age, it's going to be harder to raid him because of the militia that the Koreans get. And a civic too from Kage. It looks like Kage wants to get a city here. Kage's got awesome rares as well. He's got diamonds, peacocks, and amber, and silver right here as well. So diamond and silver are really great. All of these rare resources will give him wealth bonus. That means he can spam a lot of archers. Red Bull has not found about the city placement. I bet that he is expecting a city, but he does not know that the city building is already started. And it's a Korean specialty that they can continue to build even if it's under attack. So for any other civilization, this city could be interrupted, but not Koreans. And I'm really curious to know how Kage has such a nice head start. So it's not the ruin bonus. So what it is, what it is that Kage was not raided. He did not even have to build a barracks. Red Bull just did not raid him while he should have done that initially. And all those extra villagers are going to be used for raiding. Look at that. So no other civilization can match heavy infantry, but Koreans are good with that because the free military upgrade really helps them a lot. The game is still not over. Red Bull has discovered horses. He has got a nice economy, but he's going senator. So that means he has the extra commerce gap, but I don't see any wood that he can use. Now that city placement is definitely going to help him. Kage is just going to get a barracks. He does not have any barracks yet. A tower is coming on diamonds. A great move. He must tower this. Diamonds cannot afford to lose diamonds in this game. Well, amber is fine. Silver is going to be important as well. Actually, if somebody were to ask me, I might lean towards amber than peacock, just because the population limit in standard games is not it's not really a problem most of the times. Red Bull just discovers a tower being made. Kage is full on going on a boom, and he's trying to turtle his territory. Since Red Bull has got senator now, Kage can be a little bit relaxed, because with senator, Red Bull is not going to be raiding a lot. And that's it. That tower is going to complete. Well, Kage is really playing it. He's playing it awesome. Because typically in this kind of matchup, Red Bull Koreans, I feel Koreans are at a disadvantage, because Koreans are at a disadvantage because Iroquois are just too good at raiding, I believe. But Kage is not letting him stop. And is this senator going to prove to be a bad decision for Kage? Well, let's see. I mean, for Red Bull, because with a despot, he could have stopped all this. He could have a bigger army. And this tower is going to go up as well. Alright, this tower is going to go up. Okay, and Red Bull better start sieging. Yeah, he better start sieging these towers, as it's gonna create. So this right here is a good defensive line for Kage to start launching an attack. So Kage can now start attacking the barracks. I wonder if Kage is Red Bull going to bribe that? He should, but he is delaying that. He's delaying the bribe. It could be too late. Oh man, he just wants to destroy the tower, but why do that when you can bribe it? Red Bull is also trying to raid caravans. Let's see if he can get one of these. No, he won't get it. He almost got that one though. And Red Bull successfully bribes it. That's great. That's great job by Red Bull. He was so preoccupied with everything that he forgot to age. And yeah, this tower has a better range. So another thing to notice here, this tower has a better range because it's within the grasp of the temple. Temples provide an extra range to the towers, castles, or cities. You're seeing the upgrades coming from both the sides. Red Bull has got, well, they both have okay economies, nothing to boast about. It is a fact that Red Bull is a little crunched on wood. Apart from this, he doesn't have any important wood source, while Kage does not seem to have that problem. And there is the flaming arrow. Now one way to, so Kage has mostly archers, or all the archers. He has none of the heavy infantry. So a way to counter this kind of army composition is to build horses. And luckily he does have horses. However, horses, especially heavy cavalry, cost gold or wealth, and wealth is important early in the game. So it becomes a risky investment. On one side, you may be able to block their attack, but then just blocking the attack is not enough. You also need to put pressure on your opponent, because all the wealth that you used, he might have used that wealth for something better, like knowledge. And this time, all these rares are helping Kage so much. Look at that wealth income. His income is the highest. We rarely ever see that in any kind of game. Nobody is using the corner rares just because these are shitty rares. Nobody cares about marbles and coppers when they are at the edges, and it looks like Kage doesn't even want to replenish Peacock. He is content with whatever he has. All right, another city coming from Kage, and I know that Red Bull sees this. There's no doubt about it. Now Red Bull needs to fight this army while at the same time making sure he does not forget to research. He doesn't forget to age. At this point, Kage is ready to age. His economy is not that kick-ass, but so is Red Bull. So Red Bull is also at the same price. I don't think, except wealth, there's not a lot of difference between these two economies. Another barracks coming from Red Bull. Oh no, it's the first barracks now, because he just lost the other barrack. Red Bull seems to have the metal for getting a castle, and I wonder if the Korean player is going to get the castle as well. And the tower is going to go down. No, it cannot be saved. No castle here so far. Red Bull is getting wonder. He has realized that Kage is booming really well, and in order to beat him, he needs to boom even harder. Because yeah, while Koreans are maybe easy to raid, they are no way easy to attack. It's very difficult to capture Korean cities just because of that raiding because of the healing bonus and the towers. And Kage seems to be on the raids. Red Bull is not prepared to handle raids. So that's a downside of getting an offensive nation, that you kind of become smug. You feel that you don't have to protect your cities, because you don't expect a defensive player to go on a raid, right? But it looks like It looks like he does need to protect his cities. And a castle coming up from Kage. Red Bull Red Bull is just trying to save his villagers so far. And heavy horse archer. We don't see heavy horse archers a lot in this game. Just because they do not ever always pay off for their research cost. We usually see dragoons, the gunpowder age horse archers, because dragoons can take down a villager in 2 hits, while these take multiple hits to take down a villager. They take 3 for a militia upgraded villager and 2 for a regular one. And by this time in medieval age, most of the players have already done the militia research. So yeah, it's I don't know if it's that worth. But well, Kage is not short on resources. Now he's got himself a nice economy there, and Red Bull is trying to follow up, and that's not bad comparing. Like keeping in mind that he does not have diamonds, he's only relying on trade. And Kage is getting the porcelain tower. Porcelain tower is an awesome rare. We don't see it much in the game, but it perfectly matches what Kage wants. So it gives you 200% rare resource bonus. That means this diamond, instead of 24, let's say if it was 22, 20, now it will be producing 60 gold for Kage. And other than that, there's some naval bonus which he cannot utilize that, but just the bonus from the rare resources is too good, because Kage has got the nice resources that he needs. He's got four really good ones. Actually, 2 of them are really good. 2 of these are mediocre resources. And as I said in the early game, Red Bull is really struggling with wood. There is no wood patch around him. This is the closest one to him, but it's already in Kage's territory. Yeah, Kage has been too lucky in this game with wood. He still has a +6 lying around here, a +5 lying around. There's another +5, and he has the center wood. It's just so unfair for Red Bull. Red Bull has already got the carpentry research, and I wonder if he should be getting a lumber camp on this one. This will be 2, so that'll provide him 30 wood. It's not a good bang for the buck, but that's the most Red Bull can get out of right now. And Red Bull is surpassing Kage with respect to the economy. And that's a nice army. He's getting an extra civic. Red Bull is also soon going to get the military level 4. He'll get the tactics upgrade soon as well. And there comes the crop rotation upgrade. Kage has not done the research for. Yeah, he does not have the heavy cavalry, heavy knights research. And look at that, the wealth for Kage is over the roof. It's 270, and for Red Bull, it's not bad. So it's not 270. It's about half of that, but it's decent. That's around what you should be expecting from in a standard game. And this place right here, it's a great spot for raiding. I wonder if Red Bull is going to send in a horse archer here to just get some of caravans. They both have got awesome economies. Red Bull, yeah, so finally Red Bull is going to get that wood. and he's going to manage somehow to close in that 250 income. Red Bull is also being raided at the back. Now this raid can change the outcome of the game, because a raid at this point can mean that Red Bull is going to be focusing on defending himself rather than attacking. And yeah, look, all right, Red Bull seriously needs a tower right here. Both of the Red Bull and both of them are still dependent on. Yeah, there's this. They're still with the senators. None of them have got the monarchy upgrade. Kage is ready to get the Enlightenment Age research very soon. Actually, he has it. He's got silver, so he can go up much faster than Red Bull can. And Red Bull's going to click up very soon as well. And yeah, it's time for him to click up. And that's an awesome eco from Red Bull. He has managed, with whatever thing he had, he managed to get back on his feet. And he still doesn't have a tower here, which, at least for me, is not worth saving all that metal and gold. A tower in here can save him from all that harassment, and this is a major economic hub for him. He's getting so much metal and 40 wood right here, so he should be towering it ideally. But yeah, even though Red Bull research clicked on the research later, he released almost at the same time thanks to relics, which provides him faster research time. Oh man, these raids can prove to be disastrous for Red Bull. Red Bull on the other side is not raiding Kage at all, and now in Enlightenment Age it becomes even more difficult to raid Koreans, because the Koreans have already got the Minute Men upgrade, and the Minute Men are, I consider them really overpowered. Those Minute Men can, I think two of them can take out a single musketeer. So those Minute Men especially becomes very useful for defense against attacks. So if Red Bull is attacking right now, Kage can use his villagers that are available to defend himself. This is turning out to be quite an interesting game. Red Bull started with a lot of disadvantages in the beginning, but he seems to have caught up. He's not struggling anymore. He's using the Okawari, the snipers of the Iroquois. And yeah, so Enlightenment Age brings a new unit for Iroquois, which is truly overpowered as well. And look at that, those Minute Men are going to help. And those I will just call them snipers for now, the Iroquois snipers. They can sabotage buildings, they can snipe cavalry, and that makes them quite useful. It's red. Oh, Kage, what are you doing with that monarch? Monarch needs to be close to your enemy. This is not good from Kage. If he loses this city, it's going to be GG. Yeah, if this city gets taken down, it's game over for Kage. Because, well, maybe not. This city is not a major economy hub for Kage. But yeah, if he loses the city, that does mean that he'll be pushed back and he'll have to do something really good to get back in the game. Red Bull should be putting a lumber camp here. These villagers are just getting +10. And look at those heavy cavalry are being sniped by by the Red Bull snipers, and that's especially good because snipers can take down heavy cavalry. Heavy cavalry is the strongest single unit in the game. So of course, yeah, they can be countered by Fusiliers, but they're expensive to make, and if you can just snipe one using your cheap snipers, then that's totally makes it worth making all those units. And meanwhile, Kage is also going on a raid. I don't know if Red Bull notices this or not, but he's got oh my god, look at that, there's only one metal miner left on this side. And Red Bull takes the city. He has a decent army to start a follow-up attack. And Kage needs to do something, yeah, something extraordinary in order to get back in the game right now. No doubt, Kage has got a better economy, and Red Bull's Kage's raids are effective. Look at that. I wonder if Red Bull is even looking at this. And the militia are going to take them down, is he? Oh yeah, he is going to lose those. But that's a huge army. Oh, those militias almost got bribed. And look at that! Look at that! That's a huge army. Red Bull needs to Kage needs to spam barracks. Okay, and he calls the GG. A great play by Red Bull here. Even against all the odds, he managed to win this game. Though Hanging Gardens helped them. Those efficiency upgrades from the lumber mill were especially useful as well, because then he was no longer being affected by the scarcity of food. And I believe Kage was doing really good. He just lost focus on this city. I think he at one point he became complacent because how well he was doing. He had an awesome boom in this game, and no doubt he was ahead of Red Bull for most of the time. But when he forgot to build up a good army to defend the city, that's when he started losing it. And his raids were so useful that if he had just managed to keep holding the city and raiding at the same rate as he was, Red Bull would be calling a GG very soon. It was a great game to watch, and I wish we get to see more such games in the future. In the end, let's just watch some stats. So Kage did have a better income in everything except food. And look at that wealth. That is exactly double the wealth what Red Bull collected. But Red Bull, he ended up killing more units, and this is what counts in the whole game. Even if you have a better economy, but you don't kill enough of your enemy's units, you are losing the game. So that's it, and I'll see you guys later.